Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something deeper than success, deeper than wealth, and deeper than any external achievement you can imagine. It's about putting your God first. Because if you don't have a strong foundation, if you don't anchor yourself in something greater than you, then no amount of money, no amount of fame, no amount of material gain will ever be enough. You'll always be chasing, always searching, always feeling like something is missing. But when you put God first, when you build your life on faith, on purpose, on divine alignment, everything changes. Life doesn't just become easier, it becomes meaningful. Challenges don't disappear, but you gain the strength, the clarity, and the wisdom to overcome them. You stop merely surviving and you start thriving. Think about it. How many people do you know who have everything society says should make them happy, money, power, recognition, but they're still miserable? They're anxious, stressed, and empty. Why? Because external success without internal peace is a hollow victory. It's like building a skyscraper on sand. Without a solid foundation, it won't stand the test of time. And let me tell you, storms will come, life will hit you when you least expect it. People will betray you, business deals will fall apart, your health might take a hit. But if you are rooted in something deeper, if your faith is unshakable, you won't just survive the storm, you'll come out stronger on the other side. You see, putting God first isn't just about religious belief, it's about a way of living. It's about understanding that there is a higher power guiding you, that your life has a greater purpose than just making money or chasing pleasure. It's about aligning yourself with divine wisdom so that every decision you make, every action you take is not just about temporary gain, but about eternal impact. When you put God first, you stop chasing validation from the world, and instead you start seeking alignment with your calling. You stop making decisions based on fear, and you start acting from faith. Now, let's get real. Most people don't put God first. They put their ego first, they put their fears first, they put their comfort first. They say, I'll turn to God when I have more time, when I have more money, when things settle down. But that's the problem, things never settle down. There's always another distraction, another problem, another excuse. And before they know it, years have passed and they're still stuck in the same cycle of stress, anxiety, and unfulfillment. But when you make the shift, when you say, no more, God comes first in my life, that's when the breakthroughs happen. That's when you start walking in purpose. That's when doors open that you never even imagined possible. Some of the most successful people in history, leaders, innovators, change makers, they weren't just focused on themselves. They had a deep sense of faith, a belief in something greater. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march because he wanted fame. He marched because he believed God had called him to fight for justice. Mother Teresa didn't dedicate her life to the poor because she wanted recognition. She did it because she put God first. Even in the business world, you'll find leaders who attribute their wisdom, their endurance, their ability to lead to their faith. Because when you put God first, you gain a strength that is beyond human limitations. Let me ask you something. Who or what is running your life right now? Are you being led by faith or are you being controlled by fear? Are you making decisions based on divine guidance, or are you just reacting to whatever life throws at you? If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling stuck, if you're constantly battling stress and anxiety, it's a sign that something is misaligned. It's a sign that you need to reconnect with your source, with your creator. Because when God is at the center of your life, everything starts to make sense. The confusion fades, the doubts shrink, and the path forward becomes clear. Now, putting God first doesn't mean life becomes perfect. It doesn't mean you won't face hardship. In fact, sometimes when you commit to this path, challenges increase. Why? Because faith isn't just about believing when things are easy. It's about standing firm when things are tough. It's about trusting even when you don't see the outcome. But here's the truth. When you walk with God, you are never alone. Even in the darkest moments, even when everything seems against you, there is a power greater than you working behind the scenes. There's a purpose for your pain, a lesson in your struggle, and a breakthrough on the other side. One of the greatest lies society tells us is that we are in control of everything. That if we just work harder, hustle more, grind every day, we can force life to go our way. But let's be honest, how many times have you tried to control everything, only to realize that things didn't go as planned? How many times have you put all your effort into something, only to see it fall apart? That's because control is an illusion. True power comes not from forcing life to bend to your will, but from surrendering to divine wisdom. When you put God first, you don't have to manipulate outcomes. You just have to trust and take the right actions. You don't have to live in fear. You can walk in faith. So today, I challenge you, make the decision to put God first in everything. In your work, in your relationships, in your dreams, seek divine wisdom before making decisions. Align your actions with your faith. Trust that when you prioritize God, everything else falls into place. Because at the end of the day, success without purpose is empty, achievement without faith is shallow, and a life lived without God at the center is a life half lived. The time is now. No more excuses. No more delays. Put your God first. and watch how your life transforms. When you truly put God first, everything in your life shifts. It's not just a mindset, it's a transformation of how you operate at every level. Suddenly, your struggles are no longer just obstacles, they become opportunities for growth. Your setbacks are no longer reasons to quit, they become tests of faith. And let me tell you something, God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. That means you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the strongest, the smartest, or the most successful person in the room. What you need is faith. What you need is the willingness to trust, even when you can't see the whole picture. That's the difference between those who live with purpose and those who are just going through the motions. People who put God first don't wait for the perfect moment, they move forward in faith, knowing that every step they take brings them closer to their divine purpose. And that's what so many people are missing today. They're chasing money, validation, success, everything the world tells them is important, but they're still unfulfilled. Why? Because they're disconnected from the one thing that truly matters, their creator. They're looking for external solutions to internal problems. But here's the truth, no amount of money, no title, no achievement will ever replace a life that is aligned with God's purpose. And you know it. Deep down, you feel it, that longing, that restlessness, that constant feeling that there's got to be more. It's not a coincidence. It's a call to stop running, a call to stop looking for fulfillment in places that will never give it to you, a call to surrender and trust that when you put God first, everything else will follow. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, Tony, I believe in God, but I still have problems. I still struggle. I still face challenges. And my response to you is simple. Of course you do. Faith doesn't eliminate problems. It gives you the strength to overcome them. It gives you the wisdom to navigate them. It gives you the endurance to push through when everything in you wants to quit. Look at the greatest leaders in history. None of them had an easy path. None of them walked through life without struggles. But what set them apart was their unshakable faith, their relentless trust in something bigger than themselves. When Martin Luther King Jr. faced threats, when Nelson Mandela was locked behind bars, when great leaders stood against impossible odds, they didn't back down. They didn't let fear dictate their actions. They walked in faith. And that's what putting God first really means. It's not just about saying you believe, it's about living that belief in every moment, in every challenge, in every decision. It's about trusting that even when life doesn't make sense, even when things aren't going your way, even when the world is against you, God is still for you. And when God is for you, who can be against you? That's not just a motivational phrase, that's the truth. But you have to embrace it. You have to live it. You have to step into that faith every single day, no matter what life throws your way. So I want you to ask yourself right now, are you really putting God first? Not just on Sundays, not just when things are going well, but in the hard times, in the moments of doubt, in the struggles that test you to your core, because that's where real faith is built. That's where real strength is forged. When you wake up in the morning, do you start your day seeking divine guidance, or do you immediately check your phone, stress about your to-do list, and dive into the chaos of life? When you face a setback, do you turn to God in trust, or do you let fear and frustration take over? When opportunities come your way, do you pray for wisdom before making a decision, or do you rely only on your own understanding? These are the questions that separate those who are truly putting God first from those who are just saying they are. And listen, this isn't about judgment. This is about a wake-up call, because life is short. Time is precious. And you don't want to look back years from now and realize you spent your entire life chasing things that never truly mattered. You don't want to waste another second running in circles when the path to peace, purpose, and true success is right in front of you. It's time to commit, not halfway, not when it's convenient, fully, completely, with everything you've got. Put your God first and watch how your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. At the end of the day, the question isn't whether you believe in God. The question is whether you trust Him enough to truly put Him first in your life, because belief without action is meaningless. Faith without commitment is empty. It's not enough to say you trust God if you're still living in fear, still trying to control everything, still making decisions based on doubt instead of faith. You have to live it. You have to wake up every single day and decide that no matter what happens, no matter what obstacles you face, no matter what setbacks come your way, you will put God first. And I know that's not always easy. Life will test you. There will be days when it feels like nothing is working, when you're exhausted, when everything in you wants to quit. But that's exactly when you need to lean in. That's exactly when you need to remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place. Because putting God first isn't about convenience, it's about conviction. It's about choosing faith even when fear is screaming at you. It's about taking action even when you don't see the full picture. It's about surrendering your plans, your worries, your doubts, and trusting that God's plan is greater than anything you could ever imagine. And let me tell you something, when you do that, when you commit to this path fully, when you stop holding back, your life will change in ways you never thought possible. Doors will open that you never even knocked on. Strength will rise in you that you never knew existed. Peace will fill your heart even in the middle of chaos. And purpose, true, unshakable purpose will drive every decision you make. You will stop chasing things that don't matter and start building a life that truly fulfills you. You will stop running in circles and finally move forward with clarity, with confidence, with power, because you will no longer be relying on your own strength. You will be walking in divine alignment. And when you are aligned with God's purpose for your life, nothing can stop you. No failure, no rejection, no hardship, nothing. You will rise above every challenge. You will overcome every obstacle. You will step into the life you were created for. But it all starts with one decision, right here, right now. No more waiting, no more hesitating, no more letting fear, doubt, or excuses hold you back. This is your moment. This is your time. Put your God first and watch as everything in your life transforms beyond your wildest dreams.